All right, we are back. Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level and getting you ready for the holiday season, especially Christmas, because it's coming around the corner. So we're going to talk about today buying the gifts of health. That's right, buying the gifts of health. It's cheesy, but you need to know. We don't want you buying an overpriced coat rack, if you know what I mean. All right, so before we get going here, before we hit health in the news, because we got some cool stuff to talk about today, go check out clintfuquay.com, clintsprograms.com, personalhealthcarereform.com, and also, if you're on the interwebs, I am on social media, so Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, Instagram, Find Fitness Bros, Spreaker. Check out all the old shows on Spreaker. I'll be loading those up the rest of this month, so get ready for like a show a day, okay? It's going to be total overload for you people. Sorry. And no, I'm not sorry, actually. And YouTube. So I've got like 200 videos on YouTube. If you didn't know, now you know. Go check them out. I've got tons of 5-minute videos, 2-minute videos, anything and everything about your health and wellness that you want to know about. It is on there. And there'll be some more stuff coming this next year in 2016 to video on that. So get ready. And of course, I got my health partners to talk about right quick. So Human, helping unite mankind in nutrition. So if you have an office, you got a corporate wellness program, you want to enhance it, you want to feed your people well, contact Human, or actually contact me so I can get you in contact with Human. We can talk about what you need and get you hooked up. That way your people get some better goldfish. That's right, organic, non-GMO goldfish, the good stuff, not that GMO junk. And of course, Icon Meals, looking for the best meals possible. These are pre-made, made for you if you got diabetes, whatever your issue is. They can pre-make meals for you, from gluten intolerance issues, whatever. They're made specifically for you, for whatever the macros are that you need, as far as carbohydrate, protein, fats, all that stuff, whatever flavorings you like. I mean, it's phenomenal service. Kinesi, the best clothing you're going to wear. It's active cotton, not too hot, not too cold. Okay, remember the three bears? Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Okay. Goldilocks would be wearing this because it is perfect. And Ulta Labs, if you haven't checked them out, 20 to 80% off all your medical labs. So whether you have insurance or you don't, this is the best way to get your labs done. This way you know what's going on with you. You go in, you set it up for whatever it is you want to fit your schedule. That way you're not waiting on the doctor. They actually wait for you. You go in, they do the blood draw, they send the results back to you, get to talk to a medical professional on the phone right then and there. Awesome service. And MedCall Pro will be coming on here very soon. They do the other side of this, which is the telemedicine. So if you need something, call them up. You're talking to an ER doctor right there. If you need to go to the ER, they will call in an ambulance, take you there free of charge. And of course, you get your own kit made for home use. They'll actually write prescriptions for you out of that. Awesome service. They're actually doing it for families of 8 now. I'll have their executive VP on here sometime soon. We'll talk about their service in detail. And of course, Ideal Life. January is coming up. Okay. And if you didn't know, Biggest Loser comes back out on January 4th. And guess what? Jenna Widerstrom, who's the most winningest trainer on that show ever, guess what? She's a part of our company. That's right. She's an investor in the company. We don't pay her a thing. She pays us to be a part of it. Okay? That means NBC Universal had to check us out. We passed muster with them. Yeah, that's a big check for us. Most companies don't get that. So take a look at Ideal Life. Go to clintfuquay.com. Go take your free health assessment. Okay? We got all kinds of new stuff coming up with that. We're actually going to have a whole health score rating system on there now, so you can take that and show it off to everybody and dare anybody to beat your score on that or improve your own score. Of course, we've got ID transformation, ID 28-day challenges as well. In fact, you can watch Biggest Loser, do your own challenge, do a 28-day challenge every month, and who knows, maybe you'll get better results than the people on the show. Okay, so check that out. And of course, also, since Christmas is coming up, you need some good healthy stuff for your people. So I've got my book out, book and ebook, Personal Healthcare Reform. Go check it out. It's on Amazon. Get a copy for you and everybody else you know. Use that. In fact, use that book while you're watching Biggest Loser. Do your own competition. Okay, that's what I set the book up for. Corporate wellness. Get in contact with me. I'll get you with PhysioFit. We have a fantastic corporate wellness program for companies of 2 to 99 employees. Okay. Extreme Iron just opened up. So for anybody's looking for a gym, PhysioFit, fantastic gym, small scale independent, Extreme Iron. So if you want to get into bodybuilding, figure fitness, all that stuff, if you want to have fun with that, Extreme Iron Gym is a new one that opened up. A great place to go to for that. And of course, Studio Extreme Training for just individualized training. Very small private gym. It is a training studio specifically. So very, very few people around. So this way you've got different options on that. Okay. In PhysioFit, we do great small group classes of like 3 to 4. So if you got like 4 people you want to train with or work out with, come see us for that. We can get classes set up just for you and your friends. And for Health in the News, we're going to run through some stuff right quick because I don't have much time left. All these stories you can see on the Facebook page. So if you go to clintfuquay.com, click on the little Facebook icon, you can see this and tons of other stories because there's a lot of stuff going on out there. As you know, I'm doing stuff with the ADA, American Diabetes Association of North Texas. Speaking of, contact them to contact me. I can come in and actually speak to your entire company for free on them. Okay, they're taking care of that because normally I charge quite a bit for that service. So just a little bonus for you, and you get all kinds of cool stuff from the ADA. All right. So ADA news. Well, if you haven't figured out yet, you haven't gotten that notice in the mail. Insurance is changing, and if you haven't looked at anything, well, you're not going to know what's in your policy until you get a policy. Sorry, it's just like the bill. You have to get one to know what's in it, I guess. Thank you for that. Some other stuff going on right now. 1 in 45 kids now is showing to be having autism. That's very high now, very high rate, and it keeps on getting larger. Obesogens. So these are things around your house that actually cause you to gain weight. So all the parabens, extra estrogens and stuff, phthalates, BPA, DDT, and all the bug sprays in the summertime, heavy metals and stuff. Any and all these different toxins actually cause your body to gain weight to protect you from all this stuff. So your body's trying to protect you from all the toxins around you. So the less toxins you have around the house, guess what? The leaner and healthier you're going to be. So start looking through your cabinets. I am going to be looking for a new health partner to help out with this as well because my previous health partner is no longer around, sadly. Diet and exercise for weight loss, for sugar regulations, fountain of youth. And now it's also the preferred prescription from your doctor. So if your doctor's not writing a prescription for you to get out and exercise, find a new doctor because you really should be. Let's see here. Pinch turmeric. If you haven't ever had turmeric, awesome stuff. It actually gives you the same protective effect as an hour of cardiovascular exercise. Just a pinch of it every day. That doesn't mean you don't exercise. It means you do the exercise, you have some turmeric, and you get double the benefit from that, and reduced inflammation, stuff like that. So we're going to leave it there on the Health in the News segment. For everything else, like I said, I got tons and tons of stuff there on Facebook. Check that out. Also on Google Plus and Pinterest and things like that, because I'm writing articles for other people now. So go check those out. We'll be back, and we're going to talk about the giving the gift of health this year with Adam Aberbach, and definitely you want to hear what's coming up on this show. See you in a bit.
Hey everybody, this is Blake Miller. I own a company called Ozone Purity, where we flood the body with oxygen. If any guys are worried about just getting toxic and full of the pollution out there in the world, come see us. We specialize in something called ozone therapy, flooding the body with electrical oxygen. We have little steam saunas, and we pump ozone through the system and just release all the waste. We're at Addison Beltline. Website is www.ozonepurity.com, or go to our app. You can see all of our products, all of our services on your app store under Ozone Purity.
Hi, I'm Blake Hammerton, and I am from The Sharp Gentleman. If you're in the DFW area and you could look better than you do, or your husband could look better than he does, I am here to help. With custom-tailored menswear to fit all walks of life, bodies, shapes, and sizes, I am here to make sure you look your sharpest. You can reach me at 972-383-9607 and www.thesharpgentleman.com.
All right, we are back. Personal Health Care Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Netwaves, taking your health to a higher level. And today we're going to talk about buying the gifts of health. So, because that will happen on occasion, and sometimes you'll be left with a $1,500 coat rack, or a $3,000 coat rack, or a $5,000 coat rack. Either way, they turn into a really, really pricey coat rack, and that's not doing anything for you or your coats or anything else because they all get bigger. So I've got Adam Aberbach with me today, and we're going to be talking about anything and everything as far as the equipment and gyms and everything else, just to get you ready for the rest of this season for Christmas, and of course getting into New Year's, because New Year's is a week after Christmas. And guess what happens for New Year's? Everybody makes a resolution to go get into the gym, and we want to make sure you don't make a bad decision there either. So, and Adam's he's been in the industry for quite a while, so we're going to introduce him right quick. Adam, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. And just so everybody knows, because you've been on the station before, not on my show, but you've been on here with Susan.
Correct.
On her show a couple months ago. And so everybody listening, if you've heard him before, he's here again. We're going to talk about some other stuff. But tell everybody a little bit about your background and how long you've been in the fitness industry and working with equipment and all that stuff.
Sure. So, I moved down here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area in 2003 and needed a job, so I jumped into a 24-hour fitness. Started there, learned a lot, a great experience. Managed a couple clubs, opened up the downtown one, and bounced around, and eventually got out of the business and got back into when I did the LA Fitness thing as well, and then wanted back in the industry several years later and bought an Anytime Fitness. So I've not just managed and worked and loaded plates on, fixed the clubs up, but I've owned gyms. And now I used to work for a company called Fitco, and now, since the coming and going of that company, I work for FitCorp, which is the owner of the Busybody stores. And I run our commercial division, setting up clubs throughout the country, actually, with equipment and their design and all.
Okay. So, as you can tell, he's been around for a while. He's been around for 1 or 2 years. Or so, just so we don't divulge ages, yeah. So you've seen all the ins and outs, all the big chain gyms, all the individual small independent clubs, all the equipment stuff that's happened over the past how many 15, 20 some odd years, because there's been tons of stuff happen within that market, because it has to. Everybody's got to improve and make new stuff. So let's look at. Because as Christmas is coming up, so people are going to start looking at maybe getting an addition for the house.
Sure.
Putting in the home gym, things like that. What do people need to start looking for if they're gonna put something in their home gym? If they're going to make that sizable investment, because it can be a sizable investment and a really, really, really big investment if you do it the wrong way. What do people need to be aware of when they start looking at equipment, if they're going to do something that's home equipment, or if they should get something that was pre-owned from actual gym equipment?
Sure. Well, with the weather getting colder out, people do start thinking about that. And like you just mentioned before, all the food we're eating for the holidays, we do gain it on. I guess the number one thing I would always suggest is more so than just getting a treadmill, because that's typically what everybody goes after right away. Mm-hmm. Is just finding out what your real goals are, and getting. I would really suggest, before doing any of that, is even getting with a personal trainer and talking to them about that, because you might find that instead of a treadmill or some cardio piece, you might find that there's a strength piece or two that you want, and there's this really bad, or not a bad, but everybody believes that if you want to lose weight, it's just about cardio, and I'm sure you can attest to that. Muscle burns more fat burns more than fat does.
Yeah, tremendously.
Yeah, so, my suggestion would be get in, to working out and building muscle more than anything. But, there's all these new products that are coming out on the market. And like you mentioned before, it's an ever-changing industry.
Yeah, and of course you've got QVC and all the 10 million gadgets and stuff on there, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, because those are always fun. The shake weight, for instance. Mm-hmm. So, feeling to give everybody a little bit of advice on, because there's stuff that's made for homes, there's stuff that's made for gyms. There's a quality difference in those. Mm-hmm. What do people need to be aware of with that? If they're going to get something for the house, should they go with one of the home pieces that's made for a home gym, or should they get something that's gym quality that is made for some major abuse?
Yeah, so if you're looking at gym quality and you're looking at something pre-owned, I typically shy away from that just because you just never know. There's a reason why it's not in the same place it was originally bought for. Just make sure that the warranties are there and that they're offered, or buy an extended warranty if you buy it from a place that has that. That'd be on the use side of things. When it comes to new equipment, the number one thing I would advise is actually going to a place instead of going online and actually feeling the difference. I mean, it's hard to return a treadmill that's come in a big box and send it back to the manufacturer when you get it and you say this thing just isn't going to do what you expect. So there's tons of different places in the Metroplex checkout, and there are sales guys in there that do know what they're doing, and their job is to educate you more so than sell you on something. So I just wouldn't feel afraid to go in and talk to them, really.
Yeah, and I've had this discussion with some of my clients whenever they're looking at equipment for their house or anything like that, and it's like, look, go test it out, go play around with it someplace, find some place where you can actually get that unit, play around with it, especially if they're going to get something with some pulleys,
Sure.
pulley units, because if you got something that's got these old cheap plastic pulleys, you got that versus the nice metal pulleys with the with balls and everything else in them. The movement, the feel of those, two completely different things. If you get something in the house and it's just rickety rackety and it doesn't move well, the likelihood of using it is pretty slim, because
Sure.
it's not smooth, it doesn't feel good, so you're not going to use it.
Well, and I try and stay away from. I mean, they make some great pieces out there today. There's a lot that are very functional pieces. Sometimes the all-in-one, it feels a little cumbersome to me because we're trying to fit so many different body movements in one piece of equipment. It makes it difficult, but at the same time, you've got some of the pulleys that are dual pulley functional pieces that can do just about everything, just not exactly as we want. And then the other thing I would say too is maybe even in some cases ease into it. I mean, most people say, okay, I want to lose a bunch of weight or do whatever, and they clean out their entire refrigerator and they get rid of all the junk food and they put in all the vegetables and fruits, and then all that stuff goes bad within a week because you thought you were making a big change. It is a habit-forming thing. So, I mean, something simple to start and progressively move more into it.
Yeah, and because that is the best way to do it, because usually the whole mass change thing is doesn't work out so well, because actually some people will do it for a week and then week number 2 they're done.
Yep.
because they hate it. They hate it while they're going through it, because they're doing something that they're not really used to.
Sure. I will say I did, to give a little spot here for P90X. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but I bought one of those years ago and did it for about 20 minutes and didn't go back to it ever again. And not because it's a bad program necessarily, it just wasn't for me. And I'm glad it wasn't a $5,000 investment like you said. Yeah. So, that's the good thing about it too. But, you do have to make that decision and commit to it. And again, starting slow might be the best way to go.
Oh, yeah. And there's 10 million home exercise DVD things out there, all owned by the same company, by the way. Don't be fooled. They're all owned by one company. But yeah, you've got to figure out which one's going to work best for you. Try it out, and if all else fails, go find a trainer to talk to about it. Because I've had somebody actually come in with their P90X stuff, go through it with them, and they were so far off on the movements, it was ridiculous. I'm like, okay, this is why you come see professionals, because you can pop the DVD in. That doesn't mean you can do what's on the DVD, or that you should be doing what's on there, because, well, you got knee and back and all those other issues going on. They can't address those.
Sure.
At least, not right now. But and also, of course, for the home equipment, I want to throw one thing out there, because I've used some gym pieces that were actually worse made than some of the home equipment. So just because it says made for the home versus made for the gym, go play around with it, because the construction counts.
There are some differences, and of course, you've got the American-made stuff made in China, Taiwan, all that, and I mean, there absolutely is a difference. And you're talking about motors and moving parts. when it comes to treadmills and bearings, all that stuff. There's one piece of equipment that I just put into a commercial facility, and the bearings alone, and there's 8 of them on it. It's a bilateral leg press. I mean, the bearings alone, the cost of them is $150 a piece. So when you go and think, all right, well, I want to get a treadmill and I want to spend $300, yeah, you're talking about that, the whole unit delivered and everything, versus a bearing on one piece of equipment in a gym. So there is a tremendous difference in some cases. So yeah, you got to be careful. And again, that's why there are people in stores to educate versus just reading what we believe is, truth online. So
yeah, because there's a lot of quote unquote truth online. And all those things. Speaking of truth online, as seen on TV, you want to throw anything out there about some of the fun stuff that you'll see on late night and QVC and all that, all the fun gadgets and toys, and the $20, and we'll give you 2 more.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things come and go. We've seen them on Shark Tank even. These guys make big investments, and then tomorrow that product's gone. And unfortunately, in the fitness industry, we're talking about a lot of emotion here too. So you tell somebody, hey, this thing is the newest, latest, and greatest, and you get it, and it doesn't do nearly what, because it takes that commitment. There are some new cool things coming out though. There's I don't know if you've heard of the brand Octane, but they've got a brand new of their elliptical that just came out / climber. They've got also, which to your point on the commercial versus retail, they've got a new commercial. They've had it on retail. It's called a Zero Runner. It's a no-impact running piece of equipment, which, by the way, is priced very well versus that treadmill. There's no motor. So there are some really cool products coming out. Again, the company I work for at the retail stores, we try and get everything on the floor so that you can try them before ever buying it. And again, I can't stress that enough. And shop around, and see what else is out there. There's other companies that sell fitness equipment retail-wise, but definitely get on it, feel it, see how it is first. There's no doubt.
I will say, as far as your showrooms for Busybody, those things are loaded.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, y'all are loaded up with anything and everything. It's impressive walking in there and seeing all the pieces.
Absolutely, and there are quality differences. Yeah. To your point on the smaller items, though, sometimes, there's a convenience getting them. You can walk to the store and walk out with it same day. Can you buy it online? Yeah, you may wait a week to get it. But again, typically, if I want to work out, you want to start that day. And, again, the qualities can also be different. So, but yeah, they're loaded, man.
Yeah, yes, they are. And they got all the cool little tools and gadgets and everything else. And, they even have shake weights in there, too, if you just have to try one of those out.
I don't have one of those, just so you know.
I love making fun of the shake weight.
I did buy one for a gag. Those are great gag gifts for Christmas. So,
yeah, those are. I did a YouTube video about the shake weight. It was hilarious. So yeah, you get all that. If somebody's trying to sell you on the whole just 5 minutes a day thing, seriously, they're selling you a lot of false hope to get your $20 out of your pocket. And they get that $20 out of a lot of people's pockets, sadly. Let's talk about, because January's coming up, and you've been around the health club market for quite a while, and on all different sides of it now. Let's talk about for when people go out and they're actually looking for a health club to join. What are some things they need to look for? Whether they're why somebody would join a chain gym, why somebody should join a small independent gym, a small independent training studio. Because they all function a little differently in how they work. So what do people need to look for and be aware of with those, both in the quality of the gym and the staff that's there?
So number one thing I would say is the convenience of the club above all else. Health clubs have the basics, right? And you're going to get out of it what you put in it. And if the club I owned was up in Aubrey, Texas, and our membership rates, because people do look at that as well, it was about $40 a month, and there was a train national club about 15 minutes away, and for me, for 15 minutes there and 15 minutes back in traffic, and I worked out 3 days a week, that's an hour and a half of my life gone every week just driving for a difference of $20 a month. Not to mention the gas costs and all that, although they're a lot cheaper, the gas costs today, than they were when I went
much.
But you do have to take into account what's convenient. Do you want to take that extra 15-minute drive when the other club for an extra little bit of is right across the street? Now, our club was a little smaller. The amenities, we didn't have basketball courts or pools at my club, but you got your workout and you still can attain your goals. So again, convenience, I would say, is number one. Number two, of course, it is that time of year, so it is going to get crowded. So keep that in mind too when joining a club, is that yes, it may look packed, but it will probably come February thin out a lot.
Yeah, it will be packed for a month, and then it won't be packed again for another year.
Exactly. And so I wouldn't look at the costs. Plus, and lastly, I would say my top three would be the culture and the ownership. I love the independent clubs. I like going in there knowing that, the people there know who I am versus the day that they get your membership and then you never see them again. So it's important. So
yeah, there is that. You're either a number or you're actually a valued member.
Exactly.
A lot of times. So how do people get a hold of you? If they want to get some equipment advice, or if they want to get some equipment?
Sure. Definitely check out one of our stores. Just go in, tell them you talk to me, or that you've heard about the radio show, and we'll make sure we've got some specials for that. I'll get that out to the stores, or you can reach me. My email address is adama@fitcorpusa.com. It's ADAMA@FITCORP as in Paul, USA.com.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thanks for coming on the show and enlightening all of us on what to look for and what not to do. Also, when it comes to to getting gym membership and getting equipment for the house. And for everybody else out there, go check out ClintFuquay.com, QuintsPrograms.com, PersonalHealthCareReform.com. Go get the book. Go get the Personal Health Care Reform book for you and your family and your loved ones. That way, you are getting healthy the right way for the rest of your life. And otherwise, come back to see us on future shows.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you.